Live. Hello, hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, guys. Thank you for coming here. And today we have a very special rider of One Wheel, Sgreg. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Hey, I'm very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Is
having
uh, is is an honor to have you here. I know that you are
me.
a very happy person in our community, and you are always sharing positive things for all of us. And that's why I'm very happy that you accepted and you came here to talk a little about your adventure in electro or not electro uh, devices. First of all, like always, tell us a little of your background. How do you start it? What do you start to write for the people who don't know you to
Yeah,
know a
okay.
little more about you?
Awesome, awesome. First of all, thank you. I'm honored and I'm excited to be here. I appreciate it very much. And happy day before Valentine's Day. Sending out love and hugs. If you need a hug, you need some love. It's coming. It's coming.
Special day.
Yes. My background. How did I get into this community? It's kind of it's a crazy story. It goes a lot of
I
different
would love
places.
to hear, my friend.
Yeah,
Go from the start.
yeah. I started out riding skateboards back when I was a teenager, and I was a part of skateboarding when it was, you know, when it was illegal.
Hmm.
When skaters, we were punks. Yeah, we were trying to find a place where we could find an identity and figure out who we were, and having the skateboards and having that, just that place to go and be accepted for who we were. The home life for a lot of skaters was rough sometimes.
Hmm.
We were trying to fit into a society where we didn't feel like we fit in, and so we would go to the ramps. We would build quarter pipes out, at the end of a driveway, or we a half pipe in the woods, and
Hmm.
then we'd all scheme and connive how we could spend the whole weekend out there rather than having to be at home, and build bonfires and skate sessions at the ramp when the moon and all this stuff. And this was the same time, Tony Hawk and Steve Caballero and Mike McGill, Lance Mountain, Tommy Guerrero, all these skaters, they kind of were coming into being known at that point in the skateboard world. There was a movie that really defined us, and that was The Search for Animal Chin. Um, that movie, it defined what we were kind of doing, and what we were doing is we were just looking for a place to go and feel love and feel stoke, have a smile on our face, um, and not feel like we had to be something for anybody but ourselves. And it was a tight community, and we loved it. Of course, my body, it doesn't, it's not, it wasn't able to continue that. I turned 30 years old, and I remember, I had gotten married and I was working
Hmm.
as an automotive mechanic. And my wife bought me a skateboard for my 30th birthday, and I hadn't been skating in a little while. And so I took it, and I started skating a little bit, and helped build an indoor skate park in our hometown. And then I remember one day I dropped in and I was learning a new trick. I was doing a ollie to board slide on a quarter pipe, and I nailed it. I come back down, and a little kid on a scooter. We wiped each other out. And the next day when I went to work, I couldn't do my job very well. My hands and my wrists, they hurt really bad. And kind of, that was a time where I realized I had to transition. And I had to raise my family. I had to raise my kids, and be a father and work and make money and make sure that I provided for them. And unfortunately, I saw this as probably the end of that for myself. Um, And so I was 30 years old, 31 years old, and I loved it. It defined a part of my life. Life goes on.
Hmm.
So about 2.5 years ago, I was on Facebook something, and an ad came up for a one wheel, and I was like, "What is that?" You can imagine there were things inside of me that were dinging, and bells were going off a little bit. I wasn't fully sure what it was. Um, and then so I go to the internet and I look it up, and there are videos that come up of riders doing things like it's a skateboard, and I was like, what in the world, what is that? Again, I asked myself. And then it just kind of file it away. Well, then of course, the algorithms and social media, once you click on something or look up something, that's what you're gonna get for the next however long. And so I continually got one wheel advertisements and videos and um, things like that. And I finally convinced my wife that it would be great for us to get one. And I love this woman. She's my heart. She's my Valentine's.
I
She's the
think she's more because everything we see when we go to your Instagram, you just have to see it. She is always with you, my
Yes,
friend.
yes, yes. She is my best support.
Hmm.
Um, it's really great because people think that she's like never happy, and she couldn't. It's totally opposite, but it's so much fun to just make the faces and have a good time with it and enjoy it. She said, "Okay, I'll support you," and I got a one wheel, and I was Nelson. I was really excited. I ordered the one wheel, and they told me the delivery date, and I'm sitting there, and so the thing about me is if I think about skateboarding or I think about playing soccer, because the thing that I did after I quit riding skateboards is I started playing soccer, and I got into coaching and goalkeeping and jumping around and diving. I have a finger that doesn't go straight from playing goal.
Oh,
Yeah, I give high four and a halves. I don't give high fives with that hand.
oh,
Um,
that is very.
so I spent the time from my 30s to my 40s, 48, playing soccer and being a goalkeeper and coaching. My kids all played soccer, and I got to play with them, which was great. Um, and then I get this one wheel. It shows up, and I ride it around my neighborhood. I take one lap around the neighborhood block, and I come back and I'm crying. Hey, top of the afternoon, Sir J. Hey, good to see you, bro. Cheers. Um,
Everybody's
cheers,
coming now. I just want to say
please.
to everybody's coming. Thank you for. I'm sharing in all the groups.
Yeah,
Come and support him. Leave your questions, guys. Is going to talk a
Wheel
little
fam,
more about him.
Wheel fam. These are my people right here, my
Yeah,
homies.
yeah,
Hey,
we're going to talk about them too later on.
yeah,
We're
Sneer,
not going to forget you. We are not going to forget nobody here.
yes, yes, yes. So I ride my one wheel, brother. Thank you. I ride my one wheel around my block in my neighborhood, and if you know me, you know that I'm an emotional person, and so
Hmm.
I have I come back and I'm crying. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
literally crying. It's intense. And I walked in, and my wife looked at me and she said, "What's wrong?" And I told her everything from skateboarding that I had put away. Now it just all came back like a flood. It was like just all of a sudden, all of that just I don't know how to explain it. And I was totally like, this is the most amazing thing that I've ever experienced in my life.
Hmm.
And I spent the next month riding. Hello from the Czech Republic. Hey, cheers,
Yes,
cheers.
I just want to say there is lots of guys from Netherlands, from guys from Belgium, guys from Luigi is from USA, but he's from South of America, Central of America. Then we have guys from Czech Republic. I know that Czech Republic is going to make a big event in April. That is very good.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And
Yeah.
Czech Republic, you know, that is in Europe, maybe one of the places who has more one-wheel riders.
Oh really? That's
Yes,
amazing.
and
That's
very
amazing.
united.
I know that it's a huge community. I've been so fortunate to have made friends with people, all over the world, and some friends in Prague and Swanky over in Scotland, and just these people. It's such an amazing community. But I didn't even know that for a month in. I was riding by myself, and I was thinking to myself, okay, all the skateboarding stuff's coming back, but I didn't even understand the physics of the board. And, I found myself doing a whole lot of falling a whole lot of times.
But you never give up. That is
Oh,
the
no, because what it gave back to me was so much more than that. And and I hadn't even met the community yet. And yes, yes, that was oh gosh, that was my big one. That was my big entry right there. I was doing some trail riding, and believe it or not, I wasn't going fast. I was doing about 2 or 3 miles an hour, and I wasn't paying attention to what I was riding on, and the board high sided, and I fell back and down. I had on my wrist guards from Function wrist guards, man. I love those guys very much.
Mhm.
But because of that, it broke up higher,
Ooh.
right? And so I got a nice scar here that is going to be ground for a one wheel tattoo one day.
Let's put it here that you can see it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Oy, oy, oy. So this is when my wife, she started wondering if she made the wrong decision or not. And we've actually talked, and so that was actually my second surgery after one wheeling, because I shortly after I got the one wheel, I went to Float Life Fest in Arkansas. I met up with Wheel Fam here in my hometown through a Facebook group. They invited me on a group ride, and then they said next month is Float Life Fest in Arkansas, and you got to go. I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea what the community was like. I was
Was you expecting that? What you see there?
no, not at all. I didn't. They told me what it was going to be like, and with the racing and the things like that, and I didn't. I'd never been to an event. I'd never entered a contest. I was what, 50 years old, and I signed up for everything. Signed up for everything. I did the racing, and then I did the trick competitions, and no lie, we would get back home to the Airbnb we had, and I would just lay back in my little bunk, and I would just lay there and whimper because my legs hurt so bad. Because I'm that kind of person. I'll go all in on something, and I'll be like, "Well, I want to do all of this stuff," and then my body will correct me and be like, "You, sir, need to settle down." And so this previous year was better. I fared out of that better. But I had meniscus surgery after Float Life Fest.
Whoa.
So after riding the one wheel for 2 months, I went to Float Life Fest, and I got to compete. I competed in the trick competition against Chris Richardson, who last year won Trick of the Year, and is just an amazing inspirational rider. Oh my gosh. I've watched the stuff he does, and my jaw drops. It's like watching the old skateboard movies and stuff. It's crazy. But I competed against him, and he got first place, and I got second place. And that was a great boost for me. And I was like, this is amazing. The people that I met, the love that they showed me as this 2 month in one wheel rider who has gray hair. It was amazing. It was amazing. They treated me like family. They treated me as if, whatever I was doing, at whatever level I was riding, they treated me like it was amazing. And that's, if I can talk about the community for just a second in that
You
light.
can talk wherever you want. Don't forget that.
Yeah, yeah, for
I
real.
told you in private, my friend. This is your.
Yes.
This is to talk about you. Take your time. That's why you are here, to talk about what you want. And I'm. If you have something to talk for me, is better. That way, I just listen and
Yeah,
listen to your story. I think that's the way we have to do it, my friend. Believe it
yeah,
or not. And take
yeah.
your time, please. Please.
Understandable. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say, I
Hello,
moved up
friends.
here. Cheers, cheers, cheers. King kind of leaves. King kind of leaves. My wife and I moved to Baltimore before I rode the one wheels, and we had a community back in our hometown that we ended up having to leave. And so we come up here, and I was, playing soccer, and that was a big part of the community. Um, but then the one wheel community, just the way that they embrace new riders, the way that they put their arm around you and say, and I say the one wheel community, I know that I'm actually talking about the PEV community, the
Hmm.
EC community, because I've met a lot of them through the one wheel. But they put their arm around you and they're like, okay, hey, yeah, you can get it. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, they encourage you in that to be better, to be a better you than be competitive against everybody else.
Hmm.
Um, you get to choose where you want to go. A lot of times with skateboarding, when I rode skateboards, the community had a lot of sharp edges. There were sharp edges, and we were younger, we were punks. But I told some
Everyone was young, my friend. Everybody was punk.
we were all
If you don't have that,
ah,
then you don't have no joy in life. You
yeah,
have to
yeah, yeah,
enjoy it.
yeah. The one wheel community, to me, it was like skateboarding but with bubble wrap. Those sharp edges weren't there so much. There was a lot more, hey, come on, we're gonna help you. And I was fortunate to be skateboarding and have those, kind of skill things that transferred over into one wheel. And I found myself making a lot of progress in 2.5 years to now where I want to do that with other people. I want to be I want to be the one to put my arm around somebody else and say, "Hey, you can do that." Jeez, that made me emotional. Dang it. Um,
Emotion is good, my friend.
yeah, yeah. Well, I coached soccer, and that was one of the joys when you see somebody else, who they want something, they're trying to accomplish something, and you can provide something for them. You can provide a tool, and then you see them accomplish their goals. That, huh, hmm, ooh, that's how the community made me feel. Whew. After only riding for 2 months, yeah. So I don't get out to all the festivals. I don't get out. I don't. I wish I could get out to the West Coast with those boys some more and ride. People like Kyle Fun Hansen, man, he's such a great guy. Bodie, Floaty McFly. I got to meet all those guys at Float Life Fest, and that was what it was like. They didn't know me, but they wanted to see me be successful, and that you don't see that in a lot of communities. You definitely don't see that in the mainstream world that we live in and that we have to traffic in every day. And I was like, there's something special here. Um, More than the board. Pardon me. Say something, Nelson. Sorry. Mm. So yeah, the community has been a wonderful thing. Um, Wheel family, we got these jerseys made.
Sorry, was my microphone was out.
Oh,
I
it's
just
okay.
want to say something before. First of all, what you are saying, maybe you are one of the first guys who came here to this live stream and talk with his heart and talk not just because of a ride, and talk about the community. And sometimes that's what we miss here, and that's what we lose in our communities, is we don't take care and we don't speak uh, what is our feelings about the community. And I think sometimes it's very sad for us, and I'm very surprised that I'm seeing not just a rider here, I'm seeing a guy who fell in love for this sport. You found the second chance to ride.
Yes, I was going to say that. I tell people that I don't feel like everybody gets another opportunity to do something they love so much. And when I skateboarded, I was sponsored, and I played around and would go to places and do demos and stuff. And there are people skating at a top level now that I used to get after it with then. And I look at them and I'm like, bro, you keep going. And I'll send them messages like, I'll do that to Tony Hawk and Steve Caballero and Lance Mountain. I tag them in my one wheel stuff because I feel like that's a community I came from. And
Look at this, my friend.
yeah, this is Float Life Fest. This was amazing.
This is a community.
Yep, yep, yep. It was absolutely the best time.
And we have to say thank you so much to all the riders, and we have to say thank you so much to Justin.
Yeah,
This
yes,
crazy guy
yes.
who is always doing. And today there is lots of events. We have to say thank you to all of them. But Justin, we have to say, and to the team who help him to organize what we are seeing here in this moment. That's what today One Wheel is so big because of this crazy guy who said, let's do this. And
Yeah,
just the possibility to see these guys starting all together for not a race, but not just for a race, but just for the fun of having all of them together in the same place. Don't make difference about boys or girls or ladies.
right. Yeah, yeah,
That way, I think that shows a lot.
yeah.
How can you describe this adventure there with this the Float Life guys?
Oh my gosh, it was the first year was tiring, and I was exhausted, and I was sore, and I was in love, and I was all of the things. That was when I first met people, and I was just beginning to meet people in the community, and I was being inspired by so many people around me, seeing the way they ride, um, and going home each night and just being tired, calling my wife and telling her every night how amazing it was, how sore my legs were, but how I was going to go and get after it the next day. I almost won my time trials, but I took a spill, and again, I'm going to go back to the community. Here we go again. The rider I was competing against, he watched me fall. He stopped and made sure I was okay. He didn't get off and climb down the cliff, but he was like, "You good, bro?" And then he kept going. And I was like, "I'm good, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you, man." And I got back up and I finished. But and we shared a beer that night at the pub when they were announcing the final results for that. And it was amazing, intoxicating, meeting the people that I had seen on the internet. Yeah, here, this brother, just all of these guys. I got to hang out with Bart Miller.
Uh-huh.
His
Crazy guy.
name is crazy. Bart is crazy, and
But he's a fantastic person.
it was amazing. And I got to meet his wife and all of them, and just yeah. We had a house, and Theana and her guy, all of these guys. It was beautiful. If you get a chance, if you're here, and I know everybody is saying come to our festival and come to this festival because the community's growing so fast right now. Like you said, it's huge, and it's just going to get larger. But if you do get a chance to visit Float Life Fest, And then I'm gonna put in there at a close second place, Oak City Shred Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two that I'm able to make it out to. We
Mm-hmm.
talked about maybe going to another one this year. Um, but again, there's cost that's involved with that kind of thing, and
Of
and
course.
all kinds of things you have to consider when you do that kind of thing. So,
Yeah, that's why it's sometimes we don't see the people so much, and you are in a so big country, my friend. Is difficult for you to go in all the events.
right, right.
Is we
I
have
usually,
private lives, we have
yeah,
everything.
I like to drive because we can't fly with the one wheel, is what I've learned
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I've been riding. And so, I don't mind hooking up my truck and my camper. And I did a lot of camping. So COVID, right? COVID was right before the one wheel world. And that's when I did a lot of camping. And then I was able to take camping into one wheeling. Oak City Shred Fest is coming up in a few
But
months.
I would like to share with you something. The
Yes.
Today the UPS has a system that you can travel to your place around USA or in Europe, and in 5 days they always say 5 6 days is going to be there. But I think in 2 3 days is always there. It's not expensive. I think it's around $30. And they send with APS, and in a UPS when you put down, I have a video here that I share it because I send my boards from Germany to Portugal, and you just have to put if you are sending something with batteries or without batteries,
Okay.
and that way they send it that and it's not expensive. Is I think it's around $30.
Oh,
Not
wow. That's not
not
bad at all.
that is perfect, and that way you have they give you the guarantees that is going to be there in 5 days. And the this last summer was the event in Portugal, and most of the guys was not from Portugal. They send it, and in 3 days start to receive all the one wheels from everyone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Oh, wow.
uh,
Yeah.
I know that in USA you can do the same thing. Just get informed. Sometimes you can fly and you can have less baggage. And if you want to go, I love to go with car if I have the chance, because that way I can bring my stuff and bring everything. But each person can do whatever he wants.
Right, right, right. And yes, Bart Miller, the legend. Yes, yes. I actually, what happened is I drove and I had people give me their boards so I could take them with me.
Hmm.
So I've thought about it. I've done so much to my board. I think I would just take the battery out and ship that by itself.
But it's not easy, my friend.
And yeah. So, all right. I want to say thank you also to Electric Stoke. These guys right here are my
Before I'm just
buddies.
going to change for them, for us to see them, because that is I just want to share to everyone that is free propaganda. Nobody's paying nothing. Nobody's yeah, yeah, you have to tell
No, no.
that, my friend.
I
You,
actually asked Nelson if it was okay if I said something because
no, 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 no. We talk in private, and I say to you if they are guys are fantastic or not, and you say to me, no, they are fantastic persons, and I said to you, okay, if they are fantastic persons, that's the type of persons we want to have here.
yeah,
And I'm very proud to talk about a company that is taking care of a rider like you.
right.
Please tell us a little more about them, please.
Yeah, I mean, so Zach and I met. Zach is the guy who started Electric Stoke. We met when I started riding. I'd been riding, like I said, for 2 months, and we met in Pennsylvania at a dirt track car race of all things. They got us. He created. Oh yeah, that's a good point, Quinn. That's a good point. Quinn said it
Well,
was awesome if they makers could make a battery pack certified to fly. That's a good idea. But he had some curbs that he brought out of his truck, and I'm like, what is that? And being a skateboarder, I had been thinking about doing slides and tricks and things, and he had these curbs, and I was there with a couple of riders, and they ride up and they do some slides, and I'm like, oh, that's what that is.
mm-hmm.
So I got back and I got a running start, and I hit a slide, and I was like, Oh my goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Okay, and so we talked then, and we've been talking off and on for a little while, and then I had my first sponsor that I had gotten that I'm always going to be grateful for was Stoke Blokes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the last I heard they had some things come up, and they're not necessarily uh, out there anymore, but at least as far as I'm concerned with my stuff. Um, but they, Zach and I talked, and so then he called me back. Oh gosh, it's probably been 4 or 5 weeks ago, and he said, "Hey, why don't you come up here to the shop? I've got some stuff I want to show you." And I go up to the shop, and I mean, it was he said, "Here's what I plan to do, and here's these curbs." So, long story short, the curbs that you see here and the curbs that you see me riding, doing the tricks that I'm trying to do, and the stuff I'm trying to figure out, and the stuff I'm busting my butt on too. Um, I don't think that I could do some of the stuff that I do on other places if I hadn't learned it on that first. And so I'm learning it here in a controlled environment. And that's what we did with skateboarding. That's what skateboarding was. You build the quarter pipe at the end of your driveway, and we would just build it out of tree branches that we had, that we found, whatever you could find. And if you could ride that, then when you went to ride the real ramps, man, it was primo. Well, the curbs, man, these things are primo curbs. And when I went down there, he showed me the facility, the things they were doing. They're handcrafted. Each one is handcrafted. It's not like just this cookie cutter thing. He puts a lot of love and time into them. And then I'm able to take them and just, honestly, tricks happen from messing up something you try a lot of times. And so I can try one trick that messes up, and then I think to myself, oh, wow, there's 2 other things I could have done out of that. So then you start trying to mess up to do the trick you thought. It's just this ongoing thing. And that's kind of why I actually named the ramp I built out here at the end of the driveway Pandora's Box, because I still don't know what I'm going to be able to get out of this one wheel. I got my one wheel, and everybody said, change the tire. That's going to be the best. I was stubborn because I got gray hair and I'm an old man. Sorry to anybody that
We are not old, my friend.
apologies.
We are not old.
But I had to kind of, in my mind, I thought to myself, I don't even know what I can do yet with the board like it is. I don't want to change anything yet. Quinn's got it going on with that.
Yeah.
And so I rode that for a little while longer, but then Stoke Blokes gave me a smaller tire on an XR frame, and that was a whole new world. And then I'm doing other tricks that opened things up. And then the foot pad game changed, and I've had some people give me foot pads over the time and over the years. I wouldn't call it a sponsorship, but at that time it was a sponsorship, and I was testing some things out, and that opened up another door. Mm-hmm. And then I got the Float Life Growler rails, or these thing, and it makes the board shorter, and then you put a pint tire on here, and now you've got a skateboard with loose trucks. And anybody that skateboards, back in my day, we would tighten the trucks up for some tricks, loosen the trucks up for others. And having all of that and then the bumpers that they have, there's different materials, there's different ways the board slides, and I'm learning all these physics about the board. The board weighs 27 pounds, and so it carries its own momentum. And that to me was one of the biggest differences in skateboarding. Skateboarding, you have to pay a little more attention to getting that board maneuvered. Mm-hmm. With one wheeling, you just pay attention to getting it. You can get it in place, And then also with one wheeling, I don't have to take my feet off to push.
Mm-hmm.
I can get my feet set for my tricks already, and then just it gives my brain more time to think about what I want to do next. Um, and it's opened up a Pandora's box. It is, yeah. This was a ride in the backyard. This was a lot of fun that day. Again, I've been fortunate, and there's my brace. They told me you better wear a brace and all this stuff when you ride. Da 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 da.
Mm-hmm. I think
Um,
that is good. I think
yeah,
that you good that you use that. Believe
yeah,
it or not.
yeah, and I've been doing a lot more safety gear recently than I probably
Mm-hmm.
was when I began, and
And the
that's
people
you know,
should, and the people should use more. Believe it
and
or not.
that's kind of opposite how it was in skateboarding. We would the better we got, the less safety gear we would use. But I'm finding in one wheeling, the better I get, the more safety gear I want. Because again, this is a Pandora's box. This is a wide open, unfolding bag of tricks. I don't know what's going to come next. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what will come out of something. The 360 uh,
You have
slide
everything
that I
prepared, my
do,
friend.
I
That-
didn't, I wasn't thinking about that stuff, right? It's not, you don't sit down and say, okay, today I want to do this new trick, this new trick, this new trick. And
you, you,
and
you
this
have
is
everything here.
this is the joy because it continually unfolds and opens up, right? And I've had moments where I've said, "Oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going to do anything else. I don't know what else to do." And I know that probably sounds silly, and I'm an extreme person, and I'm very
Mm-hmm.
dramatic. But then I'll go ride and I'll mess up something, and I'll be like, "Wait, wait, wait! I can do that right there. Wait." So yeah, the 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 canvas on one wheeling and how you find your joy and your stoke is wide open. And it's whatever you want it to be for yourself. We're not competing with each other saying, well, I ride this way and that's the best, and I ride this way and that's the best. It's it's not like that at all. It's like you ride that way and you are the best, and you ride that way and you are the best, and I ride this way and I am the best. We're all the freaking best, and let's go. You know, let's go. Come on. Ay, ay, ay.
What I love of you, I want to say something I think is important. First of all, love about you is your style of life. You always have everything positive. You always bring everybody to the positive side. You are not a person who hide yourself. You want to bring happiness for everybody. You always share a good morning for everybody. You always take care of your community, and that is beautiful. And the most important thing, what I found, what I think about you, my friend, is most of the videos you always have the person you love together with you, and
Oh,
she's that shows how united the two of you are, and that is what I think is fantastic for us to have a person that loves us, supporting us. Uh,
there she is.
and
Yep, yep, yep. That's my girl. Speaking of
and,
one, we've been married for 30 years.
uh-huh.
And we've gone through a lot of experiences together, and that, that's the thing with where life is. We've had the oh the pleasure and privilege of experiencing a lot of things together. We have four kids, and they're all grown,
I have
and
three.
yeah, and what, yeah, so that's an experience in and of itself, right? And we ran a business for a little while. I was able to do some video and graphic design work, and I feel like I'm a really lucky guy. And then you throw her into the mix, I know I'm a lucky guy.
No, you are a lucky guy, and she is lucky. I think you are the two of you are very good one with another. I think I am 22 years together with my wife, and
Congratulations.
like I always tell, nothing happens alone. You need a
Right.
support. Today, I was talking with you in private. That is the 283 interview. Without her, was not possible.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes.
You understand? That
Yeah.
is that's why we have to say we have to be very happy. One thing very important. Tomorrow is a special day, and
Yes,
lots.
yes, yes. Happy Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And yes, and if you just I love you. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. Whoever's listening right now, I love you. You you are a freaking awesome person and a human being and worth every bit that you think you should be worth. You're worth that and more. One of the things, Nelson, you talked about being real, and I'll be real for a minute here.
Hmm.
You know,
Not just for a minute.
okay, okay, okay. All right. Then I'm
That
gonna,
was just a joke.
no, but I know. So social media is fun, and I am so grateful, man. I didn't. I'm an old guy, so there's a lot of younger people than me doing social media. So sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. Um,
My friend,
but
just
I,
do it.
yeah, I told somebody one time that a lot of times the things that I say in my social media posts are the things that I have seen through life we all want to hear, and we
Mhm.
all need to hear them.
My
We
friend,
all need to hear somebody say, I love you.
yeah.
Those
I'm
words
just
need to be spoken out loud more than they are in our world. And I'll stand by that until I can't stand anymore, and then I'll sit by it, and then I'll lay by it, whatever. I am consumed by that thought that we can't let people know enough that they're loved, because we live in a day and an age and a time where that isn't necessarily the messages that are being communicated.
Mhm.
And I got to tell you, I'm the first person that will stand up and raise my hand and say, yes, I need to hear somebody say that, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woohoo.
And I don't, I have a friend that I talk to regularly, and I call her my sorceress. And she is my counsel, and I have worked through a lot of things that, life doesn't always want to build us up. The mainstream world and things that are happening out there isn't always trying to make us feel good about ourselves. And first of all, I want to look in the mirror and say I love you to the person looking back at me, and then I want to be able to turn around and say that to everybody else that I look at and looks at me. Okay? And that's my Valentine's Day message. Happy Valentine's.
From my side, I just want to say, take care of the person you love, and let be loved, my friend.
Yeah,
Sometimes we don't want to. We are afraid to love, and we say because your friend tell you, that is a stupid thing. What are you doing? Do what your heart tell you. Don't matter what the people say to you. Just enjoy life, because today we are here. Tomorrow we never know. Maybe
right,
tomorrow is over.
right. Exactly, exactly. And that's a great thought, because that's what one wheeling does for me, is it lets me try to squeeze as much life out of the day as I possibly can. If it's on the one wheel, if it's with my kids, if it's with my wife, that's what I want to live that day full. I want to
Yeah.
use all of this up. I'm gonna empty this tank, and the one wheel is
And the important thing, my friend, do it like you do it, because I think you write Fantastic, my friend. And
Thank you,
your
man.
spirit, you say you are an old man. I hope that lots of young guys can do maybe 10% that what you achieve and what you try all the time to put it better and create it better and correct what was wrong and try to get better and a battle with yourself, not with anyone else. You are alone and you are just enjoying yourself. Most of the people just enjoy when they are in the companies of others, not alone. And you show that you want to do it, you have the spirit and you love this sport. Today I make a new good friend because I see that you have lots of love for this what you are doing. You are not a fake guy. You are doing because you just want to have fun and enjoy the time that you are here.
Yeah.
We never know.
Yeah.
And that's the way I think too, because today I don't care about winning more clicks or doing just for the other ones. I do it when I put something out. I do it because I want to. I want to show what I'm making me happy and what is making happy the other persons are close to me. That is for me my goal.
Yeah.
The other things, I just think positive. If I see persons who are not positive, I'm very sad because what is going to bring us being negative? Nothing.
No. No.
That's why I come to another part of the interview that I know you have something in your back that is very criticized around the world, and I call it art. And some people don't know what is that, and I would love to talk about that. Graffitis. I have the pleasure to have a guy here who makes graffitis on the streets, and everybody was like, "Hey, this is a sport channel." And I say, "No, that is not a sport channel. That is a place that we bring people who love and do something." Sometimes the people are on the streets and they are looking to him like.
Yeah.
Guys on the streets don't receive the respect that they.
I agree with you. And if you go back and if you hear me talk about one wheeling, I talk about the canvas that one wheeling is, because it's a canvas that's wide open for all of us right now, and we are getting to paint the pictures. And so this stuff, this is artwork that I've done. I've always been an artist. The creativity, and one of the things I'm looking at the pictures back there. One of the things that I had noticed is a lot of curves, and that's kind of how I try to ride the one wheel. I'm doing spins, and one of the things I found in one wheel trick riding, and it even is over in skateboarding, is continuing your momentum into what you're doing next. And that's what the artwork is. It's just like there's a lot of flow. And so I think with art, it gave me a way to express that. Actually, a lot of that you see up there started off as words. I would write a word and then try to pull a picture out from it. I've always loved the creativity, and you keep talking about graffiti, and it makes me think about Banksy. That's who I think about every time you talk about graffiti. And I've always had an admiration for his art, and not just his art, his message. He's doing the same thing. He's trying to make the world a better place with the canvas that he has. And
that's why I love to, how can I say this the best way? I love to see the creativity. I love to see how the persons are created. I think we are so created that sometimes we don't trust ourselves, or there is nobody giving us the trust to follow what is. I have a doctor here that she wants to make design, and she loves to paint and everything. And if that is the future for her, I'm going to support her. Uh, and I think that is the way we have to do it. Not just
Yes.
saying, "Hey, you have to be a doctor, or you have to be engineer, or you have to be, I don't know."
No, no. I had to learn. I had to learn a strong lesson with my teenage son on that very thing right there, because I come from a time where to be successful you had to be something very specific, right? And the idea of being successful was attached to a thing. And I realized with my teenage son as he was growing up that he wasn't going to be the things that I was. I might have been a good soccer player, or I
Hmm.
was this thing. So I had to change my perspective and realize my job was to make sure that whatever he chose to be, he did that with all of his strength,
Hmm.
right? And that was my responsibility. And I had to unravel from thinking he had to be something specific, and rewind it around how can I help him be successful. And that ties into the community. That's the One Wheel community. This all loops around, man. This is a there's a way of thinking that you can embrace. Come
Yes.
to a One Wheel event, come to a PE event, have somebody put their arm around you and tell you that they love you, and then tell me how you feel after that.
You told me you have 4 kids. Any
Yeah.
of them ride one wheel?
Um, no, my youngest son, the one
It's
I'm
the same like mine. My 3 kids, they don't want to. They
right,
don't want
right,
to have.
right. Ian, my youngest son, he has gotten on it. He's ridden it. He's nosedived. He actually went on a ride with his friend the other day. Um, I am down to just my one board now, so I don't have one for him to ride either. But he hadn't been riding for a while. But yeah, my kids. I actually got a message from my second son. It's funny you say this, and he won't mind me sharing this. We talked, and it was funny, but he sent me a message, and he was like, "Dad, I don't. Do you realize how much you're getting hurt riding that one wheel?" And this was after I had surgery on my knee and
Uh
surgery
huh.
on my arm, and with family we share when we aren't feeling our best, more so I think than we do with everybody else. And so he had heard me complain and be like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I got hit by a truck." Those are things that are common after I've been outside riding for a while in the household. And he was like, "Dad, do we need to have a serious talk? Do we need to have an intervention with you on your one wheel?" Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's they they have seen the joy that it brings. They've seen the happiness that it brings, and again, that's one thing that I'm proud of that my family has is that they look at what makes you feel like you're the best person you can be. Okay, let's support you doing that. So
I think that is the important thing is for us to have our family taken care and for our side. Doesn't matter if they're going to do the same like us. My kids they don't like it, and I have a lot of electro PVC, but they don't like it.
yeah,
It's something my son likes more computers and play games and go play soccer. You call it soccer in USA. For us, is football.
it's football. It's football. I was a goalkeeper. It's football.
So but my doctors has other my wife she goes with me, but she goes with a electro bike. She tries
Mhm.
it, but because she was with an accident and she cannot, she's always afraid to fall because she
Okay.
broken a leg before, and she's always, but I don't care if they don't come. if
Right.
they just have to do what they want. I love to do this. I don't have no problems to say to anyone that I love to ride one wheels. Lots of friends who have AUCs and skateboards.
Right.
I ride them too. But I think the one wheel has a special place for me. Is not for me is not one wheel is not to ride fast. Is what you can do with that. And how can you be creative? Like this guy is one of the
Yeah,
best
yeah. The
there.
Flying Hawaii and Jesse.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had so much fun riding with him at Float Life Fest. He was hitting this nose to backside
Hmm.
to front side tail. That was easy right there.
What do you think? What we think? What you are seeing here? The tricks that you are doing, because I know that you do a lot. Uh, how do you see the future? The future of this sport? Because I
Oh,
think we are now starting the beginning. That is just the beginning now, because
yeah,
now we
yeah,
having better motors. We are having everything. Now is going to come another company out there. It's going to make like competition. We are seeing now the Vesk is coming very strong. We are
right.
seeing that we are not just a future emotion. We're
Yeah,
going to see that most of the people is going to create lots of stuff. What?
right,
How do you
right.
see the future? Because you have a background of skating and you see the evolution of skate too.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great question. And I'll say first of all, I don't think there is a right answer to
Hmm.
that. I think there are many answers to that, and mine is just one of many.
But your opinion.
Yeah, so what I see happening right now with the PEV community and the uh, as a whole is you kind of have two curves that are
Oh,
happening.
Kim, you heard it. Kim has ordered a floater wheel. That is a wheel I'm
Yeah, the
interesting
float
to.
wheel.
How I'm
Yeah,
interesting to see this. Kim, when you have the board, contact me, my friend. I want to
yeah,
listen for you.
yeah. I want to see how they do because they have some things. But this is what I was going to say. So
Yeah.
I feel like there are two curves that we can look at. One of them is the technology curve. Okay.
Hmm.
And that curve is at a very steep incline.
Hmm.
And I think that there are a lot of PEV riders and one wheel riders who are a part of that. And what I see with that is there's a lot of acceleration and momentum to see what we can technologically do next. Okay.
Hmm.
And that is driving the competition. That's driving the things like Vesk. And that is going to be one of the best things I think to happen to the entire thing. On the other side, you have a curve that is, I don't know what to call it other than ability and skill. And I feel like the technology curve and this push to advance is steeper and faster than the ability to keep up with what we're actually changing. And the reason I say this is because Float Life Fest that we just went to, where we had the GTs racing, there were a lot more injuries that happened. And that's the outcome that you get when those two curves are like that. When the push for momentum and technology and the next advancement for uh, 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 speed is faster than the curve of understanding what I can do with this technology, you're going to end up with more injuries, in my opinion. And so then you're going to we have to up the safety gear. All of that, all of it plays into each other. And so I think both of those curves are going to continue to go up. I feel like myself, I'm in more of the trick side and the curve of figuring out, what all can I do with this board? And Vesk is in that area now with the dark side riding and things happening upside down with the board. I don't necessarily want to get upside down yet
Hmm.
because I don't know what I can do right side up.
Okay.
I'm not, I just, I can't put that into my thinking yet. So I'm not ready to embrace the technological curve. I'm over here beating on this this curve of what can I do with this board under my feet now. And I think there are people in both places, and we're all doing our best to make the sport better, safer. What we need more power for security, not speed, more range to go farther with one charge.
Yeah.
And so these are all parts of the community. There's so many parts of the community now. That's what you get when it grows, is you begin to get different areas where people say, this is what's important to us, this is what's important to us, this is what's important to us. And the thing that we have to be careful of is to not say this is more important than us, and this is more important than us, and this is more important. It's not about importance. It's about including and figuring out how we're going to make this exciting for everybody that comes in, because you have people that'll come in different places now.
Yeah, but like I told you, I think that is interesting what he said, because we need more power for security. I think the speed is not going to help us. My idea, I think the speed is going to increase to have more accidents, because I think the one wheel is not made. You can go very fast. Lots of people don't think the one wheel is in future emotion is programmed here to not go very fast. There's a limit inside.
That's my top speed.
Let me just change.
That day was really scary. That scared me. I was so scared that day. Oh my gosh. So, and I don't ever want to go faster than that. And I've got to be honest with you. And this is me again. This is my opinion, and I don't get to say what's right and wrong in any way, shape, or form. For myself personally, I was on a group ride with some of the friends that we've seen on the screen, and it was the first day back in the springtime, and we went down to the Inner Harbor up here, and I put my headphones in and was playing some music, and I put my head down and I took off, man. I was going really fast, and being the first warm day, there were a lot of people jogging. Okay. And so on the right hand side of me was the bay. Okay. So there's people jogging in a bay. Left hand side, there's buildings. Hey,
hello, my friend. How are you, my friend?
Bro, good to see you, brother.
Cheers for. I just want to say cheers for everybody out there, and have a good time tomorrow and today. And thank you for coming here to the live.
Anyway, long story short, I talk too much.
No, you don't talk too much. That's why we make this live stream, is to talk.
I cut to avoid a jogger, and I couldn't. My feet went flat, and I was doing about 17 miles an hour when I went to cut around this person, and I went to cut back inside on my toes, and because my feet weren't adjusted properly, I got no turn, and I hit a building at about 15 miles an hour. People in the Wheel family remember it. They told me, they laughed. We all laughed after they made sure I wasn't dead, because they said it looked like you had a stroke. You just ran straight into the building. We didn't know what happened. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that night I went home and I canceled my order for the GT.
Whoa. Talking about the GT, what do you think? Is the GT the future? Do you think that is what we going to see it?
The GT is the future for some people, yes. Vesk is the future for some people, yes.
And for you, my friend?
For me, I will probably end up with a GT when I have the money to put in.
But do you think you need that? Because I love my XR. I don't know if I'm going to update very soon to a GT. I love my XR. I'm very happy with my XR. Right. I know that is going to be lots of persons out there is going to say, "Hey, Nelson, I think that is I think for me, my style of riding, I personally, I prefer to don't have a heavy machine in my hand. I love my Panzer XR, uh, and I don't
I
know. I don't know if I'm going to change. I know that the GT has some stuff better, but I think now with the Vesk, I think now with the float wheel, I think future emotion is going to work more for all of us to show that he has a big machine.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then I think maybe the update, like the Plus and then came the XR. I think when comes the update for the GTR, the GT, maybe it's going
yeah.
to be the GT Plus. I don't know.
Right. Well, and so again, we're dealing with the fact that the canvas is so open and it's such a new thing, and it's changing so fast, right?
Hmm.
So when they announced the GT, and I saw a lot of my friends ordering them, GT is more safe, but XR is cool board, and I agree with you. The GT
Yeah.
is safe. The technology and advancements they put in the GT was to make it safer.
I was with the guy here. I was with the guy here in the interview, and he tell me, I know that the Mad Max is going to be upset, the Vestman and everything, but I was talking for the people who don't know the Vesk. The Vesk is something that was used here more for the guys in Europe, and the guys in Europe use it more because of the skateboards, longboards, and now they created to make, because that is an open source that Benjamin Vesk has created, and uh, for the people to understand the problem from the Vesk is when he told that, and I know that he's experienced guys because he ride mountain boards, he ride one wheels, he ride AUCs, and he tell me one thing that I think was very nice to listen from him is like this: Vesk is good, but Vesk has always a problem. Vesk, sometimes you cannot trust it. Future emotion, he make the one wheel that we can trust, that we have trust to ride, that is not going to happen a nosedive. Vesk
Right,
is a machine that you have to always take care because there is no limits, and the batteries can say to you, hey, sorry, that
right,
is enough. And
right.
maybe you are in a speed that you cannot control it, and I know lots of riders don't have no safety, no gears, no nothing, and that is going to be a change
Right.
for the float wheel. My opinion is something new. I love competition because I think when it's competition, it's better for you and it's better for me, because then they have to take care and they have to say, okay, I'm not the only one. I have to do something to bring the better product.
Right,
Then it's going to start the battles against the two of them. Who is
right,
going to win? You and me,
right, right.
because we are the persons who pay.
Yeah, exactly. I was an automotive mechanic. That's what I did for a long time
Hmm.
as a trade, and I worked on cars as well through the some of the technology changes that happened with onboard diagnostics, OBD1, OBD2, um, a belted wheel. I think I've seen. I think I saw
Hmm.
that actually.
Yeah, I would love to try a mic. That is another thing.
That would be
Uh,
interesting. Yeah.
mhm.
And so it again. It's what's happening. It's happening. It's all happening so fast. And I personally, on the VESC, on the idea of VESC, um, I don't necessarily want to invest the time learning the electronics and programming that I would need to
Mhm.
learn right now to do that.
Yeah.
And they're almost, and they may have it right now, and I could be wrong. They're almost, or they do have a plug and play version, but I don't. I'm investing my energy and my time in programming and figuring out the tricks on the one wheel, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
And I'm an old dude, and I have one brain cell left, and I'm just I don't.
Cheers to you, my friend.
And I sometimes maybe two to rub together. I don't know, dude, but I just energy is a thing that I think about now, and how much I'm putting into different things. And I don't know a lot about electronics, so when it gets into my board and I'm having to solder things, I'm not getting into that, and circuitry and all that kind of stuff. I just
We are
can't.
the two of us, my friend.
So a plug and play version that I can push a button on my app that says tricks and then go ride.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm waiting for when it comes to the Vesk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're close. I think they're really close. And when they do, I think it's like the automotive industry. We'll have the 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 float wheel and future motion,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna have the Vesk. Somebody's gonna pick that up and create a third.
Yeah, the Vesk,
It's
what
gonna
is
be
good,
amazing,
the Vesk, what is good, my friend, is you can create your one wheel.
right?
You don't need any more. You just go to a guy, hey, can you make me these batteries? They're going to make you the batteries. Then you program it like you love it. And that way, but I think we are close, but we need a little more.
Yeah, the skateboarder in me wants to take and put my shoes on, hit that button, and go outside and hit a slippy on the curb and jump up and down and come back inside. I'm just like, oh, the smile on my face. That's the thing I always come back to. That's what it gives me. I am amazed at the smile comes back every time. It's like you said, I'm by myself in the middle of the street and something happens and I just got this huge grin on my face, man. And I'm just like, dude, this is
Hello, Dave.
this is a wonderful place. And that place, this is a tool that gets us there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I would argue that this is a tool that gets us to that place that we all love, that stoke, that feeling. This is as much of a tool that gets us there as a dirt bike is for somebody that rides that, or a BMX bike is for somebody that rides that. And the thing that you see, or a car for somebody that rides back and drives that. And I would like to give a shout out to Ken Block and his passing. That man was an amazing person. He inspired me at times when I was working on cars in a dark garage, and the skateboarder in me, the extreme athlete, wanted to come out, and I saw Ken Block, and I was totally blown away by his artistry. And so shout out to him. His passing, it hit me. It hit me.
But you are a person very sentimental. I just want to shout, this person here is from Belgium. He's one of the guys who do like you, my friend, do with lots of love the rides every weekend. He organizes from his shop. He brings everybody together. Everybody comes to repair the machines and everything. He don't do nothing. He open his garage to help everyone, but everyone has to put the hands dirty, and that's what is for me a community. I tried yesterday to contact him to come here for a live, but he's not a big fan of lives, but I'll keep trying to bring him here because I think he's one guy like you. He loves this sport. He's very active in his country, and he do for love, and that's what we need, persons who take care of the community like you. Right. And the way you talk, my friend, the way you talk is different from the other interviews I have here, because you talk it in a way that I was not used to make the interviews. You talk with lots of love. You mix lots of persons from the community in your conversation. You have lots of memories. You don't try not to forget anyone. You show that how can I put it? How do you like to take care of your community? The community who receive you with lots of love. And I think he was not expecting for that. I think, and I can tell to everyone, the one wheel group is always, they stick always together. They always take care of each other. I can say because in Germany we have group of the guys riding one wheel, and now they are not so active, but most of the time they are very active, and they try to create something for the community. And then I go to Czech Republic, and there is a big event for the first time, and when I see there was ridings and racings, and was 20 guys riding skateboards, maybe 7 guys riding AUCs, and then you see this crowd of one wheelers that was close to 60 guys there, with ladies, with everybody together.
Yeah.
And there was not racing because there is a lady or a man riding. There was everybody together, and they have to make 2 races because it was too much persons of one wheels, and they come together, they go together, and is not easy to find in other sports. That's why I put the one wheel. That's why sometimes the people say, "No, so why you ride skateboards? That is fast and everything. Why one wheels?" And I say, because one wheel for me has a special place. I'm not a guy like you. You make tricks.
Right.
I
right.
I don't. I cannot do it.
Yeah, and it crosses over. It's like you lay down all of the things that could be something to cause friction. You leave that. People understand they don't need that to be somebody in a one wheel group. That isn't what identifies us. I'm not identified by my political affiliation, or by my religion, or by my, when you get in a one wheel community.
Today, that is a problem that we don't talk about that.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what the world is so full of. That's the thing
Yeah.
that makes me. That's why I'm like, okay, gee whiz, I'll tell you a story. Can I tell you a story?
Yeah, of course, my friend.
I
I'm
heard
here
a
to listen. And I think everybody is here wants to listen. That's why we are here, my friend. I told you before we started. Don't forget, that is about you, my friend. Take your time.
Yes.
That's why we are here. Don't ask me, can I tell you a story? You can tell it. Don't forget, that is the interview for you today.
Right. Well, I'll tell a story. My wife is probably chuckling to herself if she's listening, because she says he always tells stories. I heard a story one time about a kid who was walking down a beach, and the beach had a bunch of starfish on it. And he would pick one up and throw it back into the ocean. And there was an old guy watching him do that. And this old guy looked at him and stopped him and said, "Hey, you can't save all the starfish." And the kid looked at him, and he picked up a starfish and he threw it in the ocean, and he said, "You're right, but I saved that one." And I've always said to myself, I want to be the little kid. I don't want to be the old man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the person saying you can't do that, or you're not going to be able to, or what are you trying to do, or who do you think you are, or, I want to be the person that says, well, I did something right here where I'm at. And, if that's not good enough for people, then you know what? That's okay.
No, the people have to. We have to see it in another way. We have to enjoy it, have a great time, and that's the way we have to see life, with positive. And I think you are so positive. And I was seeing the emotion from you, my friend, and I was like, "Hey, this guy is talking from his heart."
I am an emotional guy. Yes.
Yeah,
and people that know me, they know. I'll cry 2 or 3 times. We'll have some coffee. We'll laugh. And if you need a place to crash, you can just hang out. And
I just want to say, because this guy is riding here, I'm going to tell you, this guy, he comes from France. His name is Jeremy, and Jeremy is going to come maybe here to the live, but Jeremy is going to do something fantastic. He's going to try to make around 6 months. I think around 6 months is going to make 10,000 kilometers. I don't know in miles, maybe 7,000 miles.
Oh, wow, wow, okay.
And he's going to travel around France. And if somebody is out there and would like to sponsor him and go and I'm going to leave the link there. I think it's going to be very nice because it's a big adventure. It's going to be in lots of places in Europe. It's going to be in lots of events. I have the pleasure to meet him 2 times in 2 different events. Not events. One of them was a meeting of all the groups in Europe to talk about how can we be legal, and the other one was in Portugal in a tour, the tour from Portugal. If anybody was there, try to go next year. I think is the One Wheel Algarve tour. Is 4 days riding. This year is going to be different. It's going to be 6 days. It's going to be races, and then it's going to be a ride of close to 4 days riding off-road from one side of Portugal to the other side of the Portugal. Like don't stop, and we make like I want to say thank you to Fabio who organized and created everything. And believe it or not, guys, that's why is the One Wheel community so big. And I wish the best of luck to Jeremy to do this 10,000 kilometers. I don't know in miles, but I'm going to try to see 10,000 kilometers. How much is that in miles? Let me see.
I don't know. He's got some serious legs. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's always riding. I think he's one of the top 10 riders of the world.
Okay.
In XR, and in the other one is close to. In miles, I was like, it's around 6.2 thousand kilometers.
Wow.
So he's going to do it. He's a guy who loves this sport. That's why I make a propaganda for him. I think Jeremy, he has a group in France. He do a lot for the One Wheel. Last week was in an interview. I think he's bringing a lot to the table for the community.
Yeah.
My friend, continue here to the our talk. I want to know, what do you love, and what? First of all, I want to see your set of your One Wheel. What do you love in your One Wheel? What tire do you like more? What grip tape? What set do you use? For everybody's out there to see it, to understand. Let me change here. I'm going to put the camera all for you.
Yeah, and I can tilt it down here and show it to you. So. Okay. Wow. So this is my baby that I love. I've got a set of growler rails from the Float Life here, which makes it shorter. And for me, with it being shorter, actually helped because it changed the angle of my legs coming up. Being able to put my feet closer together was really good. The tire is a Burris pint tire. It's
5.5.
Yep, it's the second one I've had. Somebody said that tire's really round on the edges, and I've noticed that too. It's gotten really round.
I have the same one in my.
And that lets me do those quick little, just like the hop, the nose to tail, and pivoting out, and a lot of stuff that I have to do with my hips. The foot pads are platypus foot pads.
Do you like it?
I love the platypus foot pad. I love the concave. I love how my foot fits on it, and I love that.
What generation do you have?
I have the Greg generation.
Okay.
Because what I did was I ordered my own sensors.
Okay.
So I saw on Facebook somebody had they had these sensors for sale for $26. They have another version that's $40 that has more
grip,
etches in it, but it's made to fit on a concave pad.
Okay.
Right? And the thing with the platypus pad, what had happened is just over time, the way my foot pushes on the foot pad, it wore out the sensor that came with the platypus pad. So when I saw that I could get my own sensor, I was like, okay, I might be able to fix it and have my platypus pad. And so I put my own sensor on, but if you're thinking about doing your own sensor, and the link for this is on my Instagram, whatever. If you're thinking about
we're going to talk in private because I have I have the I have the I have the same ones from London Surf.
Okay, yeah. So there's a couple of companies now that are making these. There's also another Excite company, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, and I don't want to give propaganda where it's not due, or where we don't want to do that right now. But if you're gonna do something like that on a foot pad that flexes, okay,
Hmm.
and this is the thing, most of the foot pads now are gonna have some flex to them because they're 3D printed. They're not wooden anymore. Bolt your pad down onto the board before you stick it to the board. I was very fortunate, and I said to myself, Greg, you have one brain cell.
It's
Order two
good.
foot pads. So I ordered two foot pads,
Hmm. And
and
it's good.
this was the first one, and it ghosted because I put it on here, then
Okay.
bolted it down.
Okay.
So I had to bolt the pad down first,
Hmm.
put the cable through, and it's a regular little 3-pin cable
Hmm.
connector.
Okay.
Stick it. Then I put my grip tape on while I had the foot pad bolted down.
Okay.
Then I took it loose and plugged the connector in and
Yeah.
put it on. And the reason for that was when I tightened my bolts, the foot pad would flex just a little bit and it made
Hmm.
it ghost.
Okay.
But I love the Platy foot pad.
I love it. I
It,
have it too.
it gives me the corners out here
Hmm.
to do the kind of control that I like to do.
Hmm.
One of the things with riding that I've learned. Oh, and I got to give a shout out to these guys too. These rim savers.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh, and I'm in desperate need of new rim savers. I'm gonna have to order some. This is from NLC Float,
Uh-huh.
and they actually glow in the dark. And I was talking to them the other day. They're like,
Wow.
"We don't even make those anymore." But you can see, that this is what
Hmm.
happens on curbs. So,
That's why it's good for us to have that safeties.
yes, yes, yes,
That
yes.
was a brilliant idea that they bring to the one wheel, and I think that was great for all of us because saved our boards for the guys who make tricks like you. And
Right, 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 right. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh,
in
and
the
then
back,
the back is platypus also.
okay.
So I have, if you look at it, you can't. It's hard to distinguish front to back because it's the
Hmm.
same thing front to back.
Yeah,
Um,
I have the same ones, and believe it or not, I love it.
yes.
I was with them in Portugal, and the only thing, because that was one of the first ones, uh, I I never have problems of ghosting. In this particular time, I don't know if because was the travel to Portugal. I don't know what happened. Was making like was not making not ghosting, was shutting out all the time,
Oh, okay, okay.
and that was a little scary.
Uh-huh.
And that's why. And then I have to say to Matt, I contacted him and he sent me a new generation. Now I have the new generation. I have to try it. Till now I didn't try it. I have to try it to
Right.
see if the new generation. I think is the fourth generation what I have now, because he sent me one. One of them he sent me that was to you can put it more it intense or less intense, but
Yes,
the
yes, yes,
cable
yes, yes, yes.
was very fast broken, and he said no, Nelson, that was just a test. Send me, I will send you a new ones. And
Yeah,
then now he sent me one of them. I have to try it.
yeah.
But I can tell you from Matt is a fantastic guy from Land and Surf. If you guys don't know him, that is free propaganda, guys. Nobody's paying us nothing.
Matt, yes, yes. Shout out to Matt. He has amazing product, and a lot of the things he's coming out with now are for the GT, and they're making the GT way better.
Yeah,
From what
that
I've
is.
heard. I haven't ridden one, but that's what I've heard is that it's really really making the GT a
No,
top
he's always creating stuff stuff, not just for the Onewheel. I know that he creates for lots of other companies, from skateboards too,
Yeah.
and I have lots of respect. I have the pleasure to interview him. It was one of the first interviews I have in any channel. I
Oh,
think I
wow,
was.
yeah.
I think I was with 40 subscribers, and I contacted and I say, "Hey, do you want to make an interview with a guy who has 40 subscribers?" And the guy say, "Yeah, of course,
Yes,
I support that, because sometimes you go to the guys who are big." And they don't want to come because, oh, I don't have no time. Maybe in 1 year you can call me and everything. And
Right,
I think
right,
that is
right,
very
right,
sad
right, right.
for us not to support the. So
No.
here we are seeing London Surf. For you guys who wanted to, I'm going to leave the link there.
Yeah.
I just want to say Future Emotion, Craft and Ride, London Surf. There's so many companies. I couldn't stay all the time here. I give the most support to them. They do a lot for the community. I like London Surf because from the start he was always positive with me. I was seeing how he interact with Jimmy Chang when he started. Jimmy Chang was one of the guys who started with the Onewheel and was with a small channel, and I see that how much he did to the community. And of course, that's why we are here. But that is free propaganda, guys. We are not receiving. Yeah, you have to be careful, my friend, because the YouTube is going to ask you if you are making propaganda, and they
Yeah.
want to. Yeah, they shut the video out. Do you know that? That is the truth. So I just want to see in Europe, riders have a dream. We hope that see the American brothers with us riding a lot in the country. Yes, that's what we want.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. Being float the Highlands would be a dream come true. Oh my God.
I'm going to
Yes.
travel.
All of them. Yes, yes, yes to all of them.
So I just want to say that we're going to make the interview with Float Italia. We have another video with the guys from Scotland. If you want to see it, that is the propaganda. The Float Italy is going to be next month here, I think. I don't want to lie. They're going to come in 6th of March here to talk about this event. That way, guys, you can come here and look. Portugal, of course, is going to be big. I know that in Belgium is going to be another event. Not in Belgium, in Germany, but we will see. And of course, Jeremy was last year in a Float Life Fest in America. I think it was fantastic for him. Was another riders here from Europe,
Yeah.
and I hope that we.
People, I met so many people from Europe at Float Life Fest. It was that. That's another beautiful thing. Is this is a worldwide phenomenon. This is a worldwide thing. This isn't just confined to one place. It is, and one of the brother from Australia came up. I remember when he came up. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he and I just met. We started hanging out, and that was the thing at Float Life Fest. I tried to set up a tent where people could just come and sit, hang out, whatever. And then I see him later, and he's broken his collarbone, but he's still smiling and laughing, saying, "Yeah, I broke the collarbone, but I think I can ride again. I think I can make another lap." And I'm like, bro, yeah. And then he had to drive his rental car back to the rental. I was like, man, it was great. It was so much fun. Jeez.
I want to make a question, my friend.
Yes, yes.
What is the best coffee? How do you do
my
your
God.
coffee?
The best coffee. Okay, for me personally, what I like, there is a kind of coffee.
Before you tell it, how do you start your day? You have to have a coffee in the morning.
Pretty much, yeah. I have to get up and usually I'll go make coffee or my wife will make coffee, and then depending on who made it, we will bring it to the other one, and we have this little thing we say to each other: "I made this cup of coffee in this cup for you because I love you." And if she makes it, she brings me a cup of coffee. If I make it, I take her a cup of coffee. And then it's just sitting
with the hair, my friend, with the hair, always making this fantastic looks with your hair. It's something that you need to have in the morning to bring happiness for all the guys in the internet, because
Yeah,
when you post it,
no, I have to have the coffee. You know, my hair.
look at this, my friend,
My philosophy is
and a
that
nice glass of coffee.
yeah, and a cup. You have to have a special cup. There's a special cup pretty much
Uh-huh.
for different occasions. But look, your hair is the one thing that you can change drastically your entire
Great
life.
jam. Uh-huh.
And you can totally feel different about yourself by doing something different with your hair. I have enjoyed like just doing one thing with my hair. Like I'm letting it grow back out now, but I had it short for a long time. And
Hmm.
like I'm not going to get too attached to that because it's kind of like life. It's going to change, and I need to learn to be okay with whatever change comes next. I might not like it as much, but it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. My philosophy in life is I spend a lot of time in sharp corners. Now I'm just looking for curves. I don't need the corners anymore.
Nay, you don't need it, my friend. Just enjoy it and have fun. And please, please, I ask you, please, my friend, bring this the way you put it every day in our community, putting the videos what you make, and showing in your message what you put, I think is important for all of us. Then we see that is so positive, my friend, uh, and I think that way, uh, when we when I wake up and see something like that, give me I laugh a little. I enjoy the day different, and I take the day in a different way. And that's what we need here in this YouTube channels, to see videos of riding. My friend, I'm used to see videos of riding. I need more than that. I need the people to be themselves.
Real life. I mean, real life happens to all of us, and obviously, I don't get online and share the times when I'm going through things. But just like everybody else, man, I'm gonna go through things too. And a lot of times when I go through things, I stop sharing as much just because I have to work on me. I've got to work on whatever I'm dealing with, whatever I'm going through. But I realize that I have an opportunity to tell people that they're loved.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, I have an opportunity, and I am grateful for that opportunity. And you know, you can't outlove people.
That is very
You can't.
nice, my
You
friend.
can't. You can't.
The two
That
of
was a
you,
fun morning. Yeah,
that was a great morning, my friend.
that
That
was
is was
great. That
that
was
is
great.
And what I think, my friend, what I think is fantastic is seeing you together, and
Uh,
having the two of you enjoying the life together. Is not easy. Is not always, because the people are always sharing is skateboards or is one wheels, and they think, oh, if I share this from my private life, the people is going to be upset, or the people is going to say, oh, that is not electric. Oh, why are you doing that? Is not a one wheel. Why do you have it?
yeah,
And there is more, I think. We have to change the way. I think, of course, you have to stay in what you love, but it's not just one love. There is more loves. You have your wife, you have your family, and you are in one place that you're going to share a little about you, about your private life, what you having fun, what
yeah,
you are enjoying, and maybe bringing happiness to the other ones. Or maybe saying to the guys, hey, wake up, my friend, do
right.
something different.
Well, the truth is, the sunshine wasn't meant just for me.
Yeah. But you bring the sunshine for us, my friend. That is the good
Exactly.
thing.
Well, and that's the thing. It's another story. Somebody, a friend of mine taught me one time. He said to me, there are two perspectives in life that you can have, and one of them is the perspective of scarcity,
Hmm.
where you never feel like you have enough, so you hoard everything you have and you never share with others
Hmm.
because you don't feel like you have enough to share. And the other perspective is abundance, where
Okay.
you view what you have as so much that you can't help but share it. And these stories I tell and these things, and friends that know me telling all these stories. I tell them with a knowledge that I have lived both parts of
Hmm.
that. It's
Yeah.
I'm not making up something, I'm not pulling something out of my ear, but the challenge is to live
Hmm.
my life with a posture of abundance more than a posture of scarcity. I'm fortunate, I'm lucky. There are times, Nelson, when I'll moan and complain and say that, oh my gosh, I can't believe, woe is me, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I'm a grateful person, um,
You have to be.
and the
Come on,
the
my friend. When you see something like this, that is beautiful.
yeah. This is our family. This was our get together at
Yeah, that's what,
Hetty
what you need more.
Hetty State of Mind. If I can give her a shout out too,
You
she's
have your electric friends who do you love a lot, that they take care of you, you take care of them. Then you have this one. This
yeah,
is the
yeah,
other one.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is the two sides.
This is the community, and it crosses over, and
I have a question for you because of this T-shirt.
okay,
What
okay.
what is this T-shirt? What that means?
That, oh my gosh. All right. Well, that is from Float Gang Co.
Mm-hmm.
Float Gang Company, okay? And at Float Life Fest this past year, they really just kind of adopted me over in their little.
Mm-hmm.
They really treated me like family. We hung out, we talked. I fell in love with them. They were pushing me to do my stuff and supporting me and yelling and screaming. And they had that design on a T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's the ghost on the one wheel, a play on ghosting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was around Halloween, I asked them if they had it in a hoodie, and they were like, "We're gonna make one right now." And they sent me a link, and I went and I bought two of them, and I love it. I love it. I love the ghost. It glows.
Yeah, it's perfect. I
And
think it's perfect to you. I was
yeah,
thinking that is your mark.
I'll have to tell them you said that. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. No, they're really good guys.
I was very curious. I was forgetting to ask this, but before the interview, I was already. I was wonder. I would love to see the reason what that means, because I
Yeah,
think there's
yeah,
some things has a meaning,
yeah.
and that.
The design. I really there's some as an artist, there's some things that just really get your attention, and you're like, oh, I like that, and the ghost and everything. I really like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I love it too, my friend. So we are coming close to 2 hours of interview, my friends.
Oh my gosh.
So I just want to say, first of all, for everybody's out there who is going to see this video, or is going to is in Facebook, is in Twitter, is in YouTube, I think you are a fantastic person. I understand now why the community loves you so much. Uh, we need persons like you. I don't like to listen from you. I'm an old man. I don't think you are an old man. We are not old. I learned from my grandfather. Old is the clothes that you cannot wear it anymore, and there is no chance to air it. If you
Okay.
clean it and you can put it again, it's always new. Don't matter what you do. What is the important thing
Nice. That's
is
very good.
here. The important thing is here.
Yeah.
and here,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yeah.
That is the important thing. I'm close to 50 years old. I'm not so young, but inside I'm a person who thinks the spirit is the most important thing. If you have the spirit, you can go far, and you can bring lots of positive things in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And you are a positive person, very positive person.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a pleasure to meet you. I don't want to make this
Same.
video so big because I think then the people is not going to. I'm going to make maybe in a couple of months we're going to make the second round because I think there's lots of things we're going to leave today in the table. But I just
I'm grateful. If I can just say, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to the community. I I also have to say that I'm grateful to God. I wouldn't. There's a lot, like you said, that can be left on the table, and there's a whole different world that I experienced and came from, and I wouldn't be here or be the person I am today if there hadn't been some divine intervention that happened in my life. And so I got to give props to the man upstairs. I got to do that for sure.
my friend, I just going to tell you something. It's very simple. I don't have nothing. I live in a country that is lots of cultures. I believe in God. I don't know what the other believes. I respect everybody, and believe it or not, the way is we follow His way. We're going to go. Sometimes we find some very dark roads, or maybe not so well, but this dark road is going to bring you to the positive and the right place. Today, you are in a community that the people need you. Today, you are like, it's like always. There is always two sides, two pieces, and you came and you help the one wheel community with your happiness. You bring to the community to show what is a family, not just the ride. You show your crazy side that is no limit for you to ride, that you can ride how old you are, and you came to the community and you show that you can do and create and do things. There is no age, there is no limits. The limits you make yourself,
Exactly.
what you want to do it.
Yeah.
And if you are out there, you are not dead. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way, my friend, I think you bring more in a table that lots of guys who makes lots of stuff that we see every day, and we don't want to see it no more. We want to see it new things. New things is showing what you are, not just as a rider, but as a person. And that's why I love to do these interviews. That's why sometimes the guys say to me, Nelson, why do you invite me to come here? I am nobody. Nobody knows. Today I have a guy here that I never met before, and I listen to your story, and I'm like, I see you like crying for talking about something like the community, how they take care of you, how do you love this community, how do you don't have nothing to do, you don't have no company to sell nothing, you are yourself. And that's what we need in these communities, people who love this sport, who want to do something for this sport, who want to enjoy life. Because my God, I always tell to everybody, guys, tonight you go to bed, maybe you're never going to wake up tomorrow. You never know. Just enjoy it. And that's what you are doing. And I'm very happy to have you here for 2 hours. Lots of persons sometimes say to me, Nelson, 2 hours of interview. That's what they miss. They don't understand. We know the riders. We know the persons. That's why it was made, these interviews, for us to know each other. My English is not the best one, but I'm the only one doing. And I'm very sad not to see other YouTubers or other guys who can speak better English to say, I don't give a damn about the likes. I give importance to the rider, to the person, to bring people to this. And that's what you bring today, my friend. That's why I say to everyone, your English is not good. Come here. Show your experience.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Sorry, my
Yes.
friend. I have to say this
No, no, I love it. I love
I
it.
see your spirit today was with so much love that I was impressed. Today I was with two interviews, believe it or not. In the morning I was with an interview with the guys from South Australia skateboards. They are illegal, but they are
Wow.
fighting to be legal, and they are about 500 persons, but there is 7 or 8 actives, and they put the media, everything together, and sometimes we have groups with 3, 4, 10,000 guys, and they don't do nothing. And
Right.
I think if you can change it. And I see in you, my friend, this what I see in you. Look, this guy that somebody is going to tell, oh, look at his hair, he's crazy. No, but listen to his message. Listen to his message. You have to listen to the message, not just look at the picture. Listen to the message. Then you're going to understand, guys. I'm not going to give you what he's telling. Just go there. I think you're going to love it, guys. And that is the spirit. The spirit is you, my friend. And we need more persons like you. I congratulate you. It was a pleasure to interview you. You was one of the best interview I have here. And I love all the interviews. I love, sometimes it's boring, some interviews, but you was one interview that I stay most of the time not speaking, and I speak a lot.
I'm grateful. It's such a pleasure to meet you. And what you're doing, I can just take everything that you said about the community and helping and just flip it right around, because I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that you are doing, and we're doing our best, right? And
My
we're
friend,
doing our best with what we have.
my friend, I just tell you this. I'm going to tell you again what I told you in private. This channel is open. This channel has 283 interviews, not because of Nelson, but because of all the riders who came here. All the people who say, Nelson, I come. I will support the community.
Yeah,
I will share my adventure. That is the idea. That is not my channel. That is our channel. Because you are the person here today. You see me there. I'm very small. Most of the time you don't see me. Because it don't matter. My friend, I'm a cook. I enjoy this. I enjoy to meet new people. I enjoy to bring positive energy. I hate bad energy.
yeah, same. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that.
I just want to say something, my friend. Tomorrow, or to, yes, tomorrow is going to be a great day for everyone. I'm going
Yes,
to leave my message, and then I'm going to leave you with the last words for you, for the community, for everybody. For my side, I'm just going to say this, guys. Love the ones who love you and the ones who don't love you. Take care of everybody. Don't forget, the beautiful day is when you make another person feel beautiful. I love to see happiness in the world. I'm not going to take nothing from this world. The only thing I'm going to take is persons like you, my friend. Persons like I ride every day, persons that I sit and speak and laugh and cry and enjoy and have a great time. That is the only thing we're going to take from this life. You can call me an old man, but I'm a person who loves to having fun, laugh a lot, see guys like you making this crazy videos in the internet that I cannot do it, and put me my day on the top of the world. And most important, you taking care of the person who love you, the way she taking care of you. I hope that the life give you, for you and everybody, 1,000 more than than they wish for me, and in the best way. And all of you have lots of love. And tomorrow, don't forget, tomorrow is a special day. Don't forget the person you love. Maybe if you don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something like that, your mom, your sister, everyone is like the best thing you can do. Just
yeah,
share love.
yeah, yeah. You're not gonna outlove people, and that's the thing. It's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Um, I again am a fortunate guy that I have my Valentines, my forever Valentines, and And I love you, dear. Happy Valentine's Day. um, but yeah, as far as the community goes, man, we have something so special. We have something so special, and I understand the responsibility to share that, to care for it, and sometimes caring for it means working on myself. Sometimes I've got to do the hardest work on myself, and that's just how it is. Um, and tomorrow on Valentine's Day, the first thing that would be amazing is look in the mirror and tell that person looking back that you love them. And that ain't easy, y'all. That's a hard thing to do, and it's taken me a long time to figure that one out. And then tell somebody else you love them. Just say those words. I challenge everybody watching tomorrow to say the words "I love you" to somebody you've never said it to before.
Mhm.
There we go.
That is the good thing, my friend. We
My,
finish it.
do
We finish in the best way. Thank you so much for you to come. I just want to share very fast, guys. In Tuesday is going to come here a group that is the LA Skates. That is one of the biggest groups of the world. They are crazy. We're going to talk about the problems they are dealing in LA because is sometimes not riding like a crazy guy. Is something else, and they are changing the rules of the group. They are changing the way of riding, and I think that is going to be very nice to have these guys here. I think they are one of the biggest groups, and that is a photo from the Halloween. Don't think that the guys ride there in every day. That was in Halloween.
Oh yeah.
That way, please come and see them. I think it's going to be a nice interview, and I'm going to prepare everything for the next week for all the interviews that is going to come. Till end of April is everything reserved, guys. Then have a good time. For you, my friend, once again, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you.
You make my day. You and the other one today was like a perfect day. That was two beautiful interviews. We need more guys like you, my friend. So, guys, we are going out. Have a nice day. Enjoy it. And we see us